For the privileged audience out there, today is a very special day because now you have the opportunity to know that there are two tattooed doctors from KMC Manipal who have now collaborating in front of you. So Sushi Talks has the privilege of talking to Cool Mitochondria today. Sushi Talks with
Hello,
Cool
Sushi
Mitochondria.
Talks.
Yes, so this I was waiting for this episode बहुत time से. I wanted our worlds to collide. ठीक है?
Right, yeah.
How is why did you become a doctor?
Why did I become a doctor?
Because you were the powerhouse.
No, honestly, this name was. It's funny how I got this name. I'll probably elaborate on it later, but how I became a doctor. I've always liked science and specifically biology, but I was a little confused, so मैंने PCMB ले लिया in 11th and 12th. After that, the moment I had the whole epiphany of I want to become a doctor is different. But my mother's a doctor. So I've always been like, okay, I'm not going to become a doctor because it was a slight ego issue with my mother that I will not become a doctor, especially not OBG.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is that right now I'm considering OBG. So I think I was applying to US colleges. And the thing was...
Directly after your high school.
No, like during 11th and 12th.
Okay.
During that phase, I was enrolled in Fiji, but our Fiji was pretty chill. They only taught us like extra topics. It wasn't like proper coaching and stuff. So I was considering NEET and I was considering, applying to US colleges and everything. So I had this one counselor for me. And that counselor was like, what else would you like to do? And I went blank. So that's when I knew that I don't really want to do anything else other than medicine.
Medicine.
And that's probably how the whole medicine journey started. I would say, yeah, my mother contributed a lot, not in terms of putting pressure on me to become a doctor, but more in terms of she used to share her experiences.
So guidance was there.
Yeah, she just used to come back from hospital and tell me about cases, and I used to get interested. So that's it. I mean, there wasn't anything more than that. Yeah.
So when you came to Manipal,
Yeah.
What were your expectations about this place and like how was your experience in the first, second and third and final year?
So Manipal, right? Manipal is, so I've always wanted to come to Manipal. If in India, I wanted to do it in Manipal because I wanted something as similar to US colleges. I had gotten admission into Berkeley and I was sure that I'm not spending 8 years doing medicine there.
You have to do pre-med there also. Yeah.
It's honestly no point. So I wanted a college that supported the same kind of lifestyle. And I knew KMC Manipal was that. My mother had actually done an embryology course here, like a 3-month course, and she loved the college. And I trust her choices. And I was pretty sure that I needed a college which supports my extracurriculars as much as it supports my academics because I can't keep doing only academics. That's
Where did
not really possible.
this particular trait come from? Like doing other things besides academics also? Because like if you were pursuing something like a US like school in the past also, it means that you were always fascinated with your extracurriculars. So like was it starting say?
So I've always been in a CBSE school and I've always been over participative in whatever it may be. I think it's just that I like putting myself out there and I realized that that's not possible just by doing academics. And also at a very early stage, I realized that academics isn't everything. That you need to have something in your life to look like
which separates you from others.
Yeah, exactly. And for that, extracurriculars have always been my thing. Like I've always made sure anything that happens, if I like it, I want to participate in it.
So when you came in first and second year, you decided to make a YouTube channel. Am I right? During that time or was it before that only?
It was during NEET. So my NEET was during COVID. I finished my board exams and right after my board exams finished, they announced COVID lockdown and everything. And I used to stay outside India. And the thing with staying outside India was it was very difficult for me to figure out when NEET was. NEET kept getting postponed. And I was going through one crazy mental turmoil with NEET not happening. And so I just decided that, okay, I like teaching. Teaching is something I see as my long-term goal. Like within 5-10 years, I see myself teaching people. So I started off the channel thinking, you know what, I'm going to start teaching people. And that's what I did.
That's how I started also.
Yeah. And I started teaching. Eventually, I realized that, okay, I'm not camera conscious and I can speak. Like before that also I had an Instagram for my music and everything and I wasn't camera conscious. So that's how it started and it just built on that. During MBBS, I learned, I shared my experiences and that's how it happened.
And why YouTube in particular? Like, what kept you motivated to keep on posting on that channel?
I think the channel also gave me a sort of self-discipline. Because a lot of times, I know this is bad and borderline, I felt like it was toxic for me, but it kept me online. It
Yeah.
kept me online that, Shriya, you'll have to pass NEET with good marks. Otherwise, YouTube's just going to be like, what is this girl?
Yeah, it keeps you accountable.
It keeps me accountable for a lot of things. And I like speaking in front of camera. I like sharing my experiences. Even if it wasn't an academic channel, even if I was pursuing some other course, I knew that I would be doing some sort of vlogging in my life. So yeah, it just kept me going that way. I know that this is probably not that permanent. I will eventually stop, making videos and everything. But until it lasts, it'll last.
But like I wanted to ask you something. So what is your usual demographic on your channel? Is it people who are entering the college or who are already med students?
It's actually a mix. So I realized that my YouTube has become, people have started watching it along with me. There are batchmates who started watching along with me. And then now when my junior batches come in, they're like, ma'am, we've seen your videos since we were in 10th grade or 12th grade. So then I realized, that, okay, there are kids who are watching this. So it's usually people keep adding on. The thing with academic channels is your core audience never really goes away. Everyone needs to study. Everyone needs to get into college. And that's what really took place with my YouTube, that every year a new set of kids add on to my audience. Yeah.
And like, why do you feel like you wouldn't like to do it permanently? Because the reason I started YouTube was because I had this innate I had lost my weight that time.
Right,
so I had done a body transformation journey.
Yeah.
So I thought ki
Oh, that
now
was pretty cool, by the way.
What?
That was pretty cool, by the way.
it's still in progress. Thank you so much. But I thought ki I can help people out.
Right.
And plus I always saw YouTube as a platform which is like it has a business model to it.
Right,
Like
it does.
all those videos that you are creating, all those hours that you're putting, you can eventually down the line, you can expect monetary benefits from it.
Yes.
So I think it is something that every doctor should look into.
Right, yeah.
And it can help broaden their horizons. Also, they can help start teaching. That is why I started this podcast.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask one thing. So this YouTube thing, it actually turned you into a more disciplined person, right?
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Like it helps you schedule your
Schedule my days, there are a lot of things in life. For example, YouTube, it helps me schedule my studies in a certain way. And, gym helps me schedule my day in a certain way. So these small things that I've incorporated into my life, they've helped me get a schedule.
So I'm pretty sure you have a definition of a perfect day according to Shriya. So
Sort
what is that? How does it go about?
I'm not a big fan of waking up early, but ideally I would wake up early. I'm sorry, I really wake up 10 minutes before class and show up to class. For me, because it's important to just show up to class. I don't really mind waking up 10 minutes early or half an hour early. But ideally, I would like to start my day with the gym. If it doesn't happen in the morning, then in the evening. And attend classes really well. I like sitting in the front. I like answering, properly soaking in everything that's happening in class. Hang out with my friends during breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's mostly the time I allot, to catch up with my friends. I, plan dinners with one or two friends or with a group of people. And the rest of the day, I like watching movies. I like studying. I like getting done with the things that were taught on that day, on the same day itself.
Okay, this is very difficult. Like I've heard this from a lot of people. It's the first time someone has been religiously doing it. So if let's say some student is coming in first year,
Yeah.
so what tips and tricks do you have for that person?
First year, I think the best thing is that academically, just make sure honestly, it takes, in first year, it just took me 2 hours per day to review everything that's happened in that particular day. And the most important thing in first year is dissection hall, DH. DH mein, if you pay attention, your anatomy is sorted. Even if you pay attention in all the practical classes really well, it's pretty much sorted. And I feel like first year mein, first year and second year are so important to get your basal
Foundation.
concepts ready, because I'm not studying as much as I've studied in first and second year, in third and fourth year, and that's only because I have that much of trust
In
in
your
my
pathology, pharmacology.
Yeah, exactly. And that really builds up in third and fourth year. So don't take it lightly, and really, really ensure that your anat, physio, biochem, micropharmac path is solid. And after that, clinical subjects just add on to it, honestly. And if you talk about non-academically, my biggest advice would probably be talk to everyone and do not commit to friend groups and friendships immediately.
Yeah.
Talk to people, see where your vibe fits better, and eventually you will get a good set
Try
of
to be
friends.
open also.
Yeah, exactly. Try to be open with, the things to try in college. I know some might be a little illegal, but think of it that way.
Huh. And when it comes to USMLE, okay,
Right.
so why thinking of going, like, why are you thinking of going outside and practicing there? What makes you more motivated to go out?
Very honest answer, the money.
Money.
It's
Okay.
pretty, honestly, the returns that you get in US, I understand that the cost of living is high as well, but I think some people just prefer the US lifestyle, and added to that, I think research is much more welcomed in the US. So if you're someone who's into that, USMLE might be a good choice. And I don't really have a preference. Like, I'm still very confused between US and India. So I'm going to try out all my options. There are pros and cons for US and India as well. But at the end of the day, it depends on what you're comfortable in. You really
So
can't
you
have-
have inspired me to open my own YouTube channel. This is the first time actually we are meeting. Not the first time, but
But
first time
like,
properly
yeah,
speaking with
right.
each other. And I would like a piece of advice from you also. Is it too late for me to also start my USMLE journey?
No, it's honestly not. I've seen so many people do it after internship, and it's just about writing the exams. If you know that, like, a lot of the people in US, they finish their pre-med, they finish their med school and then write MLE, and it's still not too late for them. So it's definitely not too late. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any idea about PLAB and how is the method of going through the PLAB different from the USMLE?
Okay, so I haven't researched much about PLAB. The only reason I wasn't looking forward to PLAB is because I've heard the situation in the NHS is not as good right now. I would still consider it
They're
if...
asking for pay hikes and everything.
Right, yeah. I would still consider it in a year or two if the situation in the UK gets better. But as of now, I don't think I really know much about it.
And some of my friends and even your juniors, they were also asking me one thing. So if we want to start our own YouTube channel,
Right,
so
yeah.
how should we go about it? So there is an anxiety which comes with posting your first video.
Yeah.
So how did you go about that?
I think for me, the only thing with my YouTube channel, I completely put out of the box the views, the way the
Metrics.
video is supposed to be. Everything is out for me. Most importantly, I realized that the reason my YouTube has been working is because I just put myself out there. And it's just me, my personality that's there, and what I speak about. So if you have conviction in your content, and if you're sure that this is your target audience once that's been cleared, then you don't really have anything else to worry about, because other things will work along with it. I've not been huge on PR. That's mainly because I felt like I didn't have the time for it. Like, if I would definitely want to invest more on my PR, invest more on, improving my Instagram, etc. But as of now, my course is more of my priority. But if you want to do YouTube as a full-time thing, then there are so many things that you can focus on. That is Instagram PR or improving the editing of your videos. Those are things that I lack personally. That's what I've noticed. But I don't mind it because
To be honest, you don't lack in those departments. I really like those videos, and like your day in the life of a med student one also. And there was one more question. If you are not you're about to give your exams, and you also go to the gym regularly and consistently, right? So a lot of people say, "Ki, sir, my exams are coming, and I have stopped going to the gym." So what piece of advice do you have for people like those? Like,
So during exams, I know that a lot of people prefer not working out. But for me, it's always been that even during exams, I need my normal schedule to be there. I need to eat well, I need to sleep well, and I need to exercise to a certain extent. I understand that 2 ghante ka gym chalega nahi. During exams, you need those 2 hours. But I feel that at least getting 20-30 minutes of some kind of workout
thank you so much.
in your
Yes.
daily life is very important because exams ke last 2-3 din, even with studying, there's not much you can do. It's just basic revision. So I believe that I need to maintain my same schedule even during exams because that's the only way I'll be fresh enough to write my actual exams. So it's fine if you spend 30-40 minutes just doing any kind of home workout. Just bring some dumbbells, some resistance bands, keep it at your house or your room, your hostel room, and just work out with them.
I do
because-
some fucking push-ups also. They also work. Yeah.
Exactly. I've used push-ups as study breaks. I've like done half an hour of study sessions and done
Pomodoro
like,
mein you have added your push-ups as your
yeah,
final.
exactly. I've done that so many times because the moment I got my first complete push-up, I was so happy that I kept doing push-ups for the next 1 week. So yeah, that works.
Okay, so we were talking about that USMLE thing.
Yeah.
So after you give your step 1, do you have to give a language exam also? Like what are those exams?
The IELTS and TOEFL and everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll need to give some kind of language exam to study in the US. I had already given IELTS, I think, 3 years back. I'll have to check the validity of that exam for how long it's going to be lasting. But if it's not valid by the time I do plan on going to US, I'll probably have to give it again. Yeah.
So you give your English exam, you give your step 1, then
Yeah.
you go for?
Then during internship, ideally people go for writing their step 2 exam. And step 2 is also something that's mostly written in India and it's more clinical. Step 1 was basic sciences. And step 3, if I'm not wrong, you have to go to the US.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure about this entire process. I still have to talk with a bunch of seniors about how it goes. But it's a long thing and you have to attend a lot of electives, take internship breaks and, you know, build up your CV that way. So people who are up for that and have enough patience to go through all of that will definitely do well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does research papers and all of these, like let's say for example you want to become a psychiatrist, so research papers in psychiatry will help your CV profile.
I think research is something that they consider pretty important. But from what I've heard, your interview and the way you present yourself at the interview matters the most.
Okay.
Research is pretty important. When it comes to co-curriculars, research is ranked higher than other extracurriculars that you pursue.
Okay.
But for fields such as IM, it's not as difficult to, get a seat there.
What are the sorry.
Yeah. So I've done a bunch of projects. There's only one that's going to get published, and I've done 2 more projects which might get published in the future. But I'm not really stressing too much about it because I know I'm gonna probably try for internal medicine. So yeah.
So what are the usual branches an IMG can expect to get?
An IMG with an Indian passport, it's probably easier to get something in internal medicine. The competitive fields that people should avoid if they want to go to the US is dermatology, surgery, any surgical branch, radiology, because these are the fields with a great quality of life. And surgery, not so much, but dermat and radio definitely, which people usually prefer when they go to the US. So the competition is higher. I'm sure it isn't as much for IM or PEDS or OBG for that matter.
Okay. And are you worried about the racism that happens?
I am actually. But as a matter of fact, I am worried about it. More so when I think of UK and Australia, because US seems more inclusive than those countries. I know that I can find my tribe eventually in the US, but I know being a brown doctor there, and a female brown doctor, that too, is going to have its own, ups and downs. Yeah.
But you're well prepared for it. But it's still better than going through the toxic departments in the Indian healthcare
It
system.
really is pretty toxic, and also like NEET PG getting a branch of your choice with the amount of reservations and everything.
Plus the location of your choice.
It's gonna be difficult.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of permutation combinations that can happen.
Yeah,
So, if you were not a doctor, what would have you been?
that's an interesting question. I think I would have definitely been somewhere in the entertainment industry.
Jaise abhi you are currently also in the entertainment industry, kind of.
But something on the lines of maybe would have pursued my singing more properly, or would have done something in any other sciences, chemistry, geography. Those are the kind of subjects that have always interested me.
Fascinated you.
Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. I don't really think I have something that I can strongly back as an alternative to MBBS, but I like making videos, I like singing, I like, typical filmy stuff. So,
Yeah, like your video on the connection between Bollywood and
yeah,
yeah, it was a very recent
very
video.
filmy.
No, it was
Yeah,
very beautiful video. Last question, like how can one person have the best life in Manipal according to you?
Best life in Manipal is to just let go and be as non-judgmental as you can about yourself. Manipal offers, it's a beautiful city. You have the safety of a campus, you have the people around you from God knows how many places. You have the best set of education. Honestly, KMC offers really good education, and I feel that people should make the most out of the classes and postings that they attend. Make the most out of the freedom that you're getting to go around on this campus and beyond campus safely. Because I don't think I would have been walking on the streets this normally at 11 p.m. in the night in any other city. So make the best out of Manipal. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Don't take your life too seriously. College is the time to explore. So if you feel like you need to do something, then this is the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
well said, well said.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can have another episode in the future, and that
definitely.
would be hopefully in New York City, and
Oh,
I'll be at your chamber. So Sushi Talks will be airing soon. Thank you so much.